Unlocking the charm of I fancy. Master English expressions. Hello, language enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to unravel the mysteries of a very charming English phrase, I fancy. Understanding this phrase will not only enrich your vocabulary but also help you sound more like a native. So, let's dive in and find out how to use I fancy in different contexts. When someone says, I fancy, they are expressing a desire or preference for something. It's a very British way of saying, I like, or I want. But fancy goes beyond just liking. It suggests a degree of emotional or whimsical interest. For instance, saying, I fancy a cup of tea, is more playful and personal than just saying, I want a cup of tea. Although, I fancy is a straightforward phrase, its meaning changes slightly with context. Casual use. In casual conversation, I fancy a pizza simply means, I'd like to have a pizza. It's a relaxed, informal way to express a wish. Romantic interest. When it comes to relationships, I fancy someone takes on a more specific meaning. It means, I am attracted to someone. Be mindful of this as it can suggest romantic interest. Predictions. You can also use I fancy to make a prediction or express confidence in an outcome, like, I fancy our chances in a game or a competition. Even though I fancy is a popular phrase, learners can sometimes use it incorrectly. Here are some mistakes to watch out for. Overusing I fancy. While it's a great phrase, it's also quite distinctive and specific. Don't use it for every instance where you might like or want something. Confusing it with fantasy, fancy, in I fancy is about actual desires, not fantasies or daydreams. Mixing up tenses. Remember, fancy should be adjusted according to the tense you're using. For example, I fancied going out, but it started to rain. Now that you know what I fancy means, let's put it into practice. Try creating sentences using I fancy in different contexts. Practice with friends, or write them down and share them with us in the comments below. That's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning about I fancy and feel more confident using it. Experiment with this phrase in your conversations, and you'll sound more English before you know it. Until next time, keep practicing, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Happy learning!